Welcome to Living Abundantly, my friends. I'm your host, expert lifestyle designer and 3-time international best-selling author, Sarah V. It is the most abundant time of the year, and of course, that is the holiday season. Our first guest helped us celebrate Thanksgiving with style, of course. So I know her ideas for Christmas Eve will surely make your holiday sparkle. Welcome back to the show, Nina.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you so much for having me back. That was so fast. We whipped up those Cornish hens in no time, didn't we?
Yes, I love it. Nina, I know you as an Italian American that family and food are so important to you, and particularly Christmas Eve. And the Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
It does. Is such a celebratory day. So invite us into a bit of your culture, and I would love to know, what does the seven fishes mean and symbolize to you?
So in our family, it stabilizes, of course, the holiday tradition. It goes way back to our ancestors, and a lot of them would call it fisherman stew, seafood stew. And what I put together is 7 fish in one pot, and that's always my go-to, making it super easy.
I love that. I love your tips of just the one dish.
Yes, me too. Makes it so easy, and then it's beautiful for serving, and everyone gets to try a little piece of seafood because, of course, it's the seven
fishes.
That's what makes it all together.
Yeah, awesome. And I remember on your first visit here that the Italian traditions and your grandfather were such an inspiration to you. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you've made for us today? And it smells, of course,
oh my gosh,
amazing.
I know. I hope everyone in the studio gets to try a little piece of it. So of course, with the tradition and growing up with my grandfather and my aunts and uncles, we always partaked in the kitchen, and it was either 12 fishes, 7 fishes, but today I decided to put it in one pot.
Yes.
And then with the other tradition, of course, my grandfather, his love for wine.
Yes.
And he would make it with my aunt and uncles, with his sons in the cellar. So now I like to make a silly joke is if we're going to drink wine, it should be a 10 commandment. Thou shalt drink wine while cooking.
And I know as a chef, it's really, really important to have the right or the correct wine pairing.
Yes.
And I know you've brought this incredible wine here because you have been partnering with the Bohemia. Say it again, the Bohemia Manor Farms. Beautiful.
And they are part of the Viva May Hospitality.
Yes.
And I have been spending a lot of wonderful time with the owner, a lot of the owners there, and specifically Gabriel. He is from Argentina.
Yes.
And he has given me a one-on-one crash course of this beautiful wine that we have here today. We have the Grenier, we have a Pinot Blanc, and the Sauvignon Blanc. So a lot of people don't know, have heard specifically of Pinot Blanc, so it's almost like these two had a baby.
Okay.
So we might have to try a little.
And we just want to say we're not sommeliers, and I'm sure his name is Gabriel. Gabriel is a sommelier. But I love that, and I love the fact that you have told me that you actually used it to cook with as well,
Absolutely.
not just to pair it and to drink it, but to also
with any
use
of my
it.
dishes, and especially to serve with my guests, and specifically with being with Bohemia Manor Farm. They are an incredible property, and it's a huge estate property, and you can have your wedding there. They host events and beautiful venue, and it's very historic.
Yes.
And it's right in town of Chesapeake City, Maryland. It's right alongside of the C&D Canal, and it's a beautiful visit. Beautiful.
I know that neck of the woods. So can you just quickly tell us, the 7 fishes or fish, right? It's not just fish. I mean, it's not just like a regular fish. You have mussels.
A delicious abundance of scallops, clams, the mussels, the calamari, the shrimp, octopus, and the Chilean sea bass.
This being your 3rd time on the show, I know you are used to me asking the final question, which you always know. I would love to know what your abundant word for the holidays right now. I know for Thanksgiving it was music, but what would you say for Christmas?
So this word for not only myself and for my traditional year and around the holidays, especially with Viva May Hospitality, met with Melanie, and her word is reviving the soul.
Okay.
And it is truth, beauty, and goodness.
Ooh, truth, beauty, and goodness. What a beautiful,
Thank
beautiful
you.
abundance of
Mhm.
words. Beautiful. Well, Nina, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. And we will be right back. Let's keep the Christmas spirit going. What is more abundant than being connected with family around the holidays and feeling the warmth of the energy of the Christmas spirit? Well, I have the perfect next guest to help us all feel that warm and cozy feeling. So get ready to step into a winter wonderland like no other. Michael Dessart is the president of the Christmas House, an enchanting holiday magic experience for all ages located in Long Island and Freehold, New Jersey. I can't wait to find out more about this. Michael, welcome.
Thank you,
to
Sarah.
the show. This sounds exactly what we all need right now is a little sparkle.
Yes, yes, and that's what we're here for. And we've been around since 2020, and people kind of come to these immersive walkthrough experiences that we build. And there's about a dozen different experiences, and it's become a family tradition over the years for people.
I've taken my family through a few. So while many attractions, kind of focus solely on young children, is this experience, appropriate for all ages?
Yes, yes, we run the gamut in terms of ages. So we'll get young families, we'll get older families. It really appeals to a broad age range.
Oh, yes, I love that. So I love this because we can visit with the very young or, the very old, or let's say wiser. It's a perfect match for all. Can you explain what the Blockbuster room is all about? That sounds interesting.
Sure, it's a little nostalgic room, and it's our take on the old Blockbuster movie store and video store, and there's lots of fun things in there. We have old VHS tapes and just a little bit of nostalgia. And what's really interesting about that is with people with younger children get to explain, they walk in and relive that experience that we had when we were younger.
So maybe it's like It's a Wonderful Life kind of with the old black and white. I love that. So you have something also called the Nostalgic Christmas Town. Can you describe what that is all about?
Well, yes. I mean, so overall, there's a lot of nostalgia throughout our experience, and we have what we would envision as, or some of us would envision as, a traditional Christmas Eve living room setting. Right. And you just go to each one, and there's something different. There's not all one theme throughout. Every experience is different from room to room.
I love that. Thank you so much. And this certainly helped us get into the spirit of the season and share our abundance with others. Thank you so much for coming in and letting us know about Christmas House.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And stay tuned. We will be right back. You are going to love my next incredible guest. I am so thrilled he's here. Dr. Elijah Nicholas is an accomplished speaker, author, and retired senior military officer who has dedicated his life to living authentically and inspiring others to do the same. With a background in ministry and education, he brings a unique perspective to self-realization, conscious love, and abundance. Dr. Nicholas believes in the power of aligning with one's true self to lead a fulfilling life. And his story is one of resilience, transformation, and the pursuit of personal truth. Welcome to Living Abundantly. What an honor to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Oh, I can feel your energy. Dr. Nicholas, you speak and you live a truly authentic life. Can you share your journey towards embracing authenticity and what's that meant to you?
Sure. So I will say that I spent over half of my life, the majority of my life, not living authentically. I was living up to other people's dreams and assumptions on how I should be and who I should be. And when I retired from the military in 2012, I decided that I was no longer going to do that. And I decided that I am going to live out my core values, which are integrity, excellence, and truth in all that we do. And so, I find that aligning myself with the true essence of who I am is really what helps me live authentically.
I can feel your energy. I absolutely
you.
love that. So what do you think we all have a turning point, or what I say, a crossroad. What do you think was the turning point of your life to live authentically as you do?
The turning point was when I could no longer live a lie. I could no longer live someone else's expectations of me. And the turning point was when that pain became greater than the change. The change was the answer to getting rid of the pain. When you look yourself in the mirror, if you cannot look and be like pain free, then what is the point?
Yes. I love your story because
Thank
I
you.
feel very much in alignment with that similar pain from my past. Abundance has many meanings to many people.
Yes.
And what we do here on Living Abundantly, I feel, is really connect to true abundance. And how does it play into the choices that you make each day?
Yes, every single day, every decision that I make, I ask myself, is this in alignment with my dreams and with my goals? And if it is, for me, 1 minute at a time, every minute is an abundant minute, every second, every moment of the day. And so it plays into my life every single day and every decision that I make.
Love it. So you often talk about conscious love in your work. Can you explain exactly what conscious love means to you?
Conscious love means to me is, am I thinking not just from my perspective, but from a holistic perspective, from a universal perspective? When I make decisions, when I walk the earth, when I greet people, when I smile, and when I say hello, it's not just about me. It's about the collective. And so I try to make sure that everything that I do from a conscious, a present perspective, so that I want you to feel my energy and my happiness and my love.
I can feel your give me more of it. I can feel so much of it. So how would you say that perspective helped shape the path of authenticity and fulfillment of your life?
Oh, it shaped the path significantly. It's really the core of who I am today. Because when I paused and thought about how my decisions not only impact me, but impact my family, impact society, and impact the universe overall, then I started saying, you know what? I'm okay. Internally, I'm all right. And so when I know that I'm all right, that energy reflects and radiates to other people.
Exactly. Because it
around me.
starts from here,
It starts
and then
from
it
here.
affects and has a ripple effect to everybody else.
Absolutely.
This is so juicy. I love it. What advice would you give to anyone to start their journeys towards an abundant and authentic life?
Number one, give yourself grace.
Grace.
Give yourself grace and know that whatever happened in the past happened, and it's all an important part and it's all relevant to where you are today. And once you give yourself grace, know that it is okay to start over as many times as you like, because each person defines what abundance means to them. What abundance means to you may not mean the same, may not have the same meaning for me. So define what abundance means to you. And it's okay to redefine that every moment of every day.
I love your message. And at the end, I always like to ask my favorite question, but I might know the answer. What would you say is your most abundant word that best describes your life right now? Would it be grace? Or would it be something else?
It would be grace and gratitude.
Grace and gratitude. Because if I can just add something, everything, every word we use has an energy to it, and especially gratitude.
Yes.
We hear a lot about it, but it really does help shift the energy inside of us.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, your message and passion for authenticity are such an inspiration, not just to me, to so many of us. I cannot wait to see where your message leads. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. You are such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're
I'm so
welcome.
grateful.
And stay tuned. We will be right back. Guess what time it is? It's time to start thinking about the new year. I can't believe that 2024 is almost complete. Our next guest will undoubtedly be a perfect guide to living abundantly in 2025. Susan Miller is an internationally known author, columnist, entrepreneur, and publisher. She is the founder of astrologyzone.com, which is now in its 29th year. It's been so successful that Astrology Zone is now read by 9 million readers annually. Oh my gosh, wow. I am so excited to welcome you, Susan Miller, to the show.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, and to meet you in person.
Yes, thank you so much. What a perfect time to bring your acclaimed expertise to our viewers. I'm dying. I've been, on the edge of my seat, dying to know, what does the year ahead in 2025 look like? Is it positive?
Yes, of course. There's always good things happening in a chart. It's never all one way or the other. There's, life is a little bit of everything. But what I like about this year is it's cut in half like a loaf of Italian bread.
Oh.
And the first half favors the air and fire signs like you. And the second half favors the water and earth signs. So everybody gets cookies this year, And it's really good. And the United States is Cancer. It's born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck, is going into Cancer on June 9th. And it will stay 12 months. Wow. So it should be a prosperous year.
Yes.
And I know there's been a lot of focus on groceries and food. Cancer rules food. So there'll be a lot of attention paid to how we grow food, how we transport it, all the parts. And also, it rules the child growing within the pregnant mother. So a lot of attention to maternity and to childcare.
With all that said, are there lucky days or luckier days in 2025 that we can actually look forward to?
Well, we have the luckiest day of the year every year. And this year it's June 24th.
Oh.
And it's a day you should take a risk. Have that big appointment or have that first date or buy that house that you've been wanting to. That day is really special and it portends growth and prosperity too. So, if you buy a house, it'll probably appreciate, that kind of thing. But if you fall in love on that day, if you meet someone special, it's likely to grow stronger.
So just briefly, I would love to know, just kind of get a little sneak peek of your year ahead daily astrologer calendar.
Those I write what's going on in the conversations up above. What's interesting this year, usually the little planets, what we call personal planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, they orbit very close to Earth, so we feel their influence. Usually they do a lot of the heavy lifting. This year, I've never seen anything like this. The big guys, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, even Saturn and Jupiter, they sit on their pedestals. And as I'm writing, I'm seeing what's happening. They're saying, am I really going to have to get down there and get my hands under the hood? Yes. And they're all talking to each other. I've never seen so much conversation. Now you say, what's a conversation? When a planet moves within 10 degrees plus or minus of an exact aspect, either a square, a trine, which is like a triangle, or an opposition, or one of the Ptolemy's basic aspects, that's when they begin speaking. And it's all mathematical.
Right.
I do not I am not psychic. I do
No, but
no.
this is a little bit different. So I love this, and I cannot wait to get my calendar. But one final question for you that I love asking, and it's going to be interesting coming from you too. What would you say is one abundant word that best describes your life being so connected to
Oh,
astrology?
creative.
Creative,
I think that
yes.
astrology is the best tool for creative thinking
Yes.
because it doesn't give you just one path, it gives you many.
Many.
And you can choose the one you feel most comfortable with.
Yes.
This year, what we have happening is so unusual. Uranus changes signs into
Yes.
Gemini,
Yes.
and Neptune into Aries,
Yes.
and Jupiter into Cancer,
Right.
and Pluto just went into Aquarius for 20 years. It won't leave until 2044. So this is going to make life seem
Yes.
very new and different.
And yes.
Not same old, same old. No, it's really time to stake your claim.
Oh my gosh.
Go for your dream.
This is so interesting, but I thank you so much for being with us today on the show. This is
my pleasure.
This is rich with
I have
information.
so much more to tell you. I hope I see you again.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, and we will be right back. And stay tuned. We will be right back. We are back in this thought-provoking segment I'm calling Crossroads. Right here, we will delve into the pivotal moments in our lives. Our guests will share their personal stories at their own crossroads, exploring the feelings of being stuck and understanding the challenges that accompany these turning points. I know we all have been there. I know I have. We will uncover insights, learn to take empowered action, and find the courage to navigate these transformative journeys together. I want to welcome back our beautiful Deb Neilson. If you remember, we had her in the last episode, and she had the courage to be vulnerable and share her journey. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
And so I can't wait to jump in here. How are you feeling now that you've taken that empowered action from our last episode?
Well, you know, Sarah, there's always a saying, everything happens for a reason,
Yes.
and problems are actually miracles in disguise.
Right.
And sort of that's what's been happening with me.
Ooh. Let's take a look at some footage from our session before we began.
This revelation of your mother, but what does that pain feel like? Maybe go to the energy that you're feeling in your body. You know, go to that pain. What is it?
I was
What are
so
you feeling?
angry with her my whole life. I didn't
Yes.
want to be anything like her. I was angry with her. Why didn't she protect me?
Where do you feel that in your body?
I never thought about it, but as you're saying it and I'm listening to you thinking, my throat is constricted.
Yes.
So we touched on where you were feeling stuck in your body, and you had shared with us that it was in your throat area.
Yes.
Do you still have that what I call heaviness in your throat area or your throat chakra?
Well, to tell you the truth, I have been sharing my voice. I have been, being seen where I would never have done that before, and putting myself out there, and I'm here, and it feels fabulous.
Amazing. Yeah. So could you say that you feel more in flow with yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Things are flowing, and I'm getting messages every day that I just can't deny.
Oh, yes. Because when you change here, you change what's on the outside. So I just want to recap some of the tips that I gave you to begin the shift, because of course we have to take empowered action. The first step, of course, is the awareness to our thoughts, which sometimes can be a little challenging. Quieting our minds. You know, I said maybe just take 5 minutes to just quiet your mind. And then we get to listen to the voices that we're telling ourselves. And I invited you to write down your thoughts and understand if, you know, what place you were in, or what energy you were in, whether you were in powerful state, the feeling of flow, or if you were in primal. So primal is about when you're listening and taking action when you're feeling very limited and insecure, whatever those heavy emotions are. So was that helpful to you?
It was amazing, eye-opening. I consider myself to be a positive person, but when I really did a double check, like you said, wow, I found myself, caught myself going down that rabbit hole a few
Yes.
times and stopped and shifted. So very valuable.
I love that, because I invited you, just when you feel the dip in your energy, to actually take a moment to pause, because what we do is we just ignore it, right? And I love that you were aware, you noticed the dip in your energy. And would you say now you feel more in flow and aligned with yourself?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I kept a journal, and the first day there were like 5 entries, and then 4, and then 3, and now when I'm catching myself in a resistance, it almost just dissipates immediately.
Yes, because I always say, if it feels limited, it's a lie that you're telling yourself. Right. I love that. So, now that you feel in flow and more aligned, I mean, this, it's a practice that we get to continue. But what would you say is, going into 2025, what are some of your aspirations that you would love to complete?
Well, I'm doing a rewrite of my memoir, my first edit, and it's taken on a whole new light. It's, instead of coming from a victim standpoint, it's coming from a standpoint of victorious.
Yes.
That I'm taking, like my mom said, every pain and turning them into little gifts, treasures.
So I love the word alchemize, where we take something and we make it something better. And that's what I feel like, what I hear you saying is that you have alchemized that scarcity energy and created the abundance that has always been yours. Well, I cannot wait to welcome you back when I can say that you are a best-selling author. How does that feel?
That would be amazing.
Yes. Well, that's what we're going to put out there as the next step, is that you step into this beautiful aspiration of your book. Thank you so much for kicking off this crossroads.
Thank you for having me. It's been fabulous.
I can't think of a better way to wrap the show. I truly hope you feel inspired to shine your light brightly from within. For even more content and inspiration, follow us on my YouTube channel, Living Abundantly with Sarah V. And here's to living your most abundant life.
The proceeding was sponsored by Sarah V. LLC.